Okay, you're a farmer, you're Palestinian, oh, and you're an Oscar nominee. Right.
Surely Americans have heard about one of the greatest threats facing their First and Fifth Amendment rights.
Oftentimes, such articles are unverified, unverifiable, or completely false.
That's how we start things off. Welcome to the show. I'm Darren Howard.
And I'm Robert Nisbet.
We are your friends in activism. We're here to support you because you're the person with their eyes awake, their eyes open, and their brains awake. And we're here to provide you with information and intellect to go with your day.
Especially the stuff the mainstream media is not telling you about because they're too busy reporting the weather or the latest celebrity gossip.
Yes, remember, royalty is not news. They're just born rich and sucking the world dry. So remember, we're going to bring it to you. Let's run a clip right here. Radio Free Canada.
Bad news.
Controversy surrounds Zero Dark 30, the Best Picture nominee, portraying the hunt for Osama bin Laden. Some politicians say director Catherine Bigelow's film distorted the role torture played in tracking down the al-Qaeda leader.
Some people felt that a vote for Zero Dark 30 would be a vote for some of these things that they were against. And in the end, it just got caught in the muck, and I don't think it helped it at all.
Hollywood has also been buzzing about Argo, based on the 1979 Iranian hostage crisis. The film has won top prizes at the Golden Globes and Screen Actors Guild Awards. Argo is now favored to win the Oscar for Best Picture, but its star and director, Ben Affleck, was not nominated for the Best Director award.
Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Hollywood.
Man, that's a news story I didn't hear a thing about.
Oh, not in the mainstream, no.
Okay, I mean, Bulgaria, the whole government, okay, resigns.
Well, that's the same thing as that happened last weekend with the huge protest in Washington. I didn't hear much about that on the CBC at all.
I know. That was kind of a little bit frustrating. Where's the CBC reporting on this? Well,
I don't know. There must be something about Prince William they must be talking about instead. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Who cares if the royal gonads are working or not? That is the last thing of my concern. I don't care if they were born rich. But Bulgaria, there are massive protests going on over there. Let's run into this, and we'll talk about it in a bit, okay?
Across Bulgaria, tens of thousands of people have protested for several days over high electricity prices. This is the poorest country in the European Union. Outside Parliament in Sofia, people demanded the renationalisation of power distribution companies. The scale of the protests seems to have forced the government's hand. And so, Prime Minister Boyko Borisov told Parliament that he and his entire government were resigning.
I can't watch as fences go up around Parliament. If the people want the government to resign, then the state needs a new vote of confidence. So the people will decide how the government continues from now on. What democracy stands for worldwide is election.
This is the latest administration in Europe to be forced out of office by a popular backlash against austerity measures and the high cost of living. Electricity prices rose by 13% last summer. Bulgaria's election is 4 months away. Some sort of interim government will now be formed, but the outgoing Prime Minister says his party won't have any further role in the country's administration. Bernard Smith, Al Jazeera.
So they're talking about an audit to 1989.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a brave man, though, that president, to go out and face the crowds like that.
That's leadership.
I've got to give him credit for that.
Totally. Okay, we've invited Ron Cannon to go and step up to the microphone countless times.
Yes, but he always declines.
But, you can't stand for anything. If you're a conservative, you can't stand up and speak.
And you have to have a spine to stand up as well. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Wait, you have to have a backbone. Someone please install a backbone. But when you're working for a dictator accountant, you know that you can't have an opinion.
Well, yeah, I know.
And you can't speak with passion.
You may be redesignated as a terrorist.
Just like us. I'm kind of enjoying that designation. Remember to check on our facts, okay? But if you're watching CTV, if you're watching CBC, you are not informed, and you probably haven't even heard the Bulgarian government has fallen. Greece.
Greece is on fire, the birthplace of democracy.
Check it out.
More austerity measures in Greece as wage cuts, tax hikes, and the closings of schools and hospitals push 60,000 protesters into the streets of Athens Wednesday. It was the first nationwide workers' strike of 2013, meant to show labor unions' discontent with a bailout deal Greek leaders accepted from their international lenders, dubbed the Troika. Euronews spoke to demonstrators on the ground.
One unemployed hotel worker described it as the start of a new wave of demonstrations against Greece's wealthy elite and the government. Tomorrow there will be many more people. They must listen to us, he said. They must understand. This can no longer continue.
Al Jazeera reports although the bulk of the protests were peaceful, students threw rocks and bottles at police on the sidelines as authorities returned fire with tear gas canisters. There has been some pushback from Greece's leadership amid this new round of protest. The New York Times reports the government has taken a tough line in recent weeks, using emergency laws twice to enforce Athens metro workers and seamen back to work. It has registered demands from farmers who have been blocking roads in a bid to obtain tax breaks. The government says Greece is taking its first steps in a slow and steady recovery, though the nation's unemployment rate currently stands at 26%. For Newsy, I'm Zach Toombs. Multiple sources, a broader view.
So I got to wonder if their unemployment rate is a lie, like Canada's unemployment rate.
Well, they always cook the books.
Yeah. Just remember, they tightened up UI regulations. They totally nuked the whole social safety net that stopped people from having to steal to eat. These conservatives have lied to us constantly about the unemployment rate. It's only the people on UI or on welfare who are counted, and that's not even counting the people employed by marijuana.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And the people who've given up looking for work as well.
Yeah, there's lots of people just gave up. I've talked to a lot of people. They said there's no jobs. There are no jobs.
Oh, well, you can get a job in Kelowna, but it'll pay you 10 and a quarter an hour.
Actually, you can't even do that anymore.
No.
We checked all of the on the internet. We went on Castanet. We phoned up a whole bunch of the guys who said that they had job postings in there. They said they had over 100 resumes for minimum wage jobs. There are no jobs.
No.
But
speaking of jobs.
Speaking oh, man. Really? Really? You went there.
Yes, I did.
He goes there.
There is an opening available.
Apparently there's an opening available for people who want to. Okay, run it.
Reports say the head of the Catholic Church, Pope Benedict XVI, has resigned due to widespread corruption in the Vatican. Italian media reports say an internal church probe has informed the Christian leader about a series of blackmails, grafts, and underground gay sex in the Vatican. Unnamed sources have revealed that 3 cardinals, including the former head of the Vatican Secret Service, were among the suspects in allegations of fraud. Corruption in the Catholic Church was exposed after the so-called VatiLeaks affair. VatiLeaks is a series of documents involving leaked Vatican information about corruption there. They first came to light last January. The Pope will officially leave his post on February the 28th.
Now, the reason why the church is dying right now is that they just haven't caught up to what morality actually is.
Yeah, I think they kind of strayed from the teachings of Jesus.
Jesus, you know. I've never heard so many excuses for inactivity. I've never heard of so many excuses to support warfare and hide child molesters. Okay? Where are these guys coming from?
I mean, where's your moral ground?
You know, and then they say, well, everybody else is going to hell except us. No.
Yeah, well,
sorry.
Is that confession thing? Is that like a get out of hell free card?
Yeah. I used to pray to God for a bike, and then I found out God doesn't work that way. So I stole a bike, and I prayed for forgiveness. Because that's the way it works. Let's run a clip, yes? Do you want to run this?
Sure.
All right. Let's get on it.
Tens of thousands of protesters are rallying across Spain to voice their anger over the government's austerity measures. In the capital, Madrid, and in cities all over the country, people are taking part in the mass demonstration, which has become known as the Tide of Citizens. Some Spaniards are calling on the government of Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy to resign. The ruling Popular Party has been hit with several allegations of high-level corruption, which have added to public anger. Spain is struggling with a flailing economy and record unemployment of 26%.
Of course, I didn't hear about that.
You didn't?
I didn't hear about that on CBC. I listen all the time.
Oh, no. Well, that was Italian press that exposed that.
Oh, really? Wow. Holy smokes.
Well, independent press, I'm sure.
However, we've seen spin, so...
Well, there's a little pushback against these rumors.
A little pushback. I love the way you put that.
I say my prayers, and I know He hears them. I ask for guidance, and I feel His direction. I read His Word, and I gain wisdom. I spread His message, and I feel Him speaking through me. I get hurt, and He comforts me. I get confused, and He makes everything right again. I cannot see Him with my eyes. I cannot hear Him with my ears. I cannot touch Him with my hands. I cannot prove Him to you, but I know He's real. I know He loves me, and I know He can do anything. He is and always will be my Father, my friend, my partner, my Creator, my God. And I have been touched by His noodly appendage. He is the flying spaghetti monster.
Hey, wait a second. I thought we weren't going to trash on the church that much today.
Well, they're just such an easy target.
I know. It's like, grow up, okay? It's funny because my dad is a conservative, okay? And hardline conservative, too. He belongs to the Baptist Church.
Yeah.
I support him, but he understands. He knows. There's a difference between science and what we know as fact and what was written in a book that's medieval.
Yeah, the one that should come with a warning label. Or wasn't there a recall notice issued on that?
On the He also knows that Jesus taught, don't kill people and love each other.
Be excellent to each other.
Be excellent, yeah. Okay, and rock on, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, but honestly, okay, they've twisted it way out of shape. Okay, and he said, "He who has no sin cast the first stone." Here's me going out gathering some stones here. Hang on a second. Did that work? There we go. That's, that was a sign.
That was a sign, yes, that you are sinful.
I don't know.
I have a whole problem with the whole concept of original sin, too.
Yeah, let's talk about that in a little bit here. Also, we got some clips coming up on more stuff, too.
Well, absolutely.
Okay, so make sure you stay tuned. We got more clips coming on the way. And remember, we've been flashing municipal sustainability coming up, and it's coming up. Stay tuned. I'm Darren Howard.
And I'm Robert Nisbet.
Thanks for joining us. Radio Free Canada. We now return to you to your regular scheduled propaganda. Just return to the CBC. We'll be back.